What are you afraid of? What's holding you back? What deep, dark fear do you need to face? You know, sometimes as adults, when we're afraid, we hide it, put up a front, act as if nothing is wrong. Fear of spiders? Not when my friends are looking. Because we don't want to embarrass ourselves now, do we? I mean, after all, we want our friends to like us, right? It's almost as if we're two people. Or it's almost as if we have a secret identity. Like Clark Kent, Superman. Upstanding, brave citizen by day, arachnophobe by night. As kids, secret identities are fun though, aren't they? I can remember when I was a kid, I used to play superheroes with my older brother. Batman and Robin. We'd jump off the porch, pretend we were chasing the Riddler or Mr. Freeze or whoever the villain of the day was. Although our parents didn't like it because when we landed in the flower garden, which was right down below, it usually meant several hours of replanting Mom's garden. But we didn't care because we were kids. We were having a great time. Life was carefree and simple, and we were fearless. As I became a teenager, my secret identity morphed into something that scared me to death. I went from being Robin the Boy Wonder to a boy who wondered about boys. While my friends were starting to date girls, I was confused. Everything I knew, everything I learned about men, women, love, dating, relationships was upside down. So I did what every good Christian gay boy did back then. Convinced myself this phase would pass, crawled into the closet and started living a dual life. Because nobody wanted to be gay back then. Being gay meant you weren't normal. It was a crime against God. Not to mention you'd get beat up after school. Then there was the name calling. Fairy, Pansy, Gaylord. Those were the nice names. I'm sure you're familiar with some of the other ones. I was terrified to be gay. Hated the thought of it. Through this time of discovery, I wondered if I ever would live a normal life. What if somebody finds out? Will I get kicked out of Boy Scouts? Will my parents toss me to the street? My secret identity paralyzed me, silenced me. What are you afraid of? What's paralyzing you from living the life you want? Is it partly due to the fact of what people might think if they find out your secret? That was what it was like for me. When I finally did tell my parents, I was 32 years old, if you can believe it. And sitting at their kitchen table, I felt as if I was 16 years old, living under their roof by their rules. There was so much acceptance by this point. I mean, gay marriage was legal. But there I was, sick with fear. When I finally did tell my parents, and they told me that they knew. Of course they knew. We don't give parents the credit they deserve sometimes. I can remember my dad, 6 foot tall, manly man, very buff, strict British upbringing, sat there, looked at me, and said, "But you're still my son, and we still love you." And then he gave me a big hug. In that moment, aside from wanting to cry, I felt at peace. I felt loved. I felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted off my shoulders, like a 100-pound weight just gone. I knew it was okay to be gay. I had just been given the green light to start living my life the way I want, without fear, without a secret identity. So tonight I ask you, what are you afraid of? What's keeping you from living the life you want? What fear do you need to face? What secret identity? Does it really need to be kept secret? Or is it time to step out and reveal your true colors?